Okay, let's dive into the hidden world of university dorms. Because, technology is staging this quiet revolution, not in the lecture hall, but right down the corridor where students actually live.
So if I asked you that, you'd probably think of exams, right? Or maybe late-night study sessions, huge research papers. But what if I told you that for a massive number of students, the biggest source of stress isn't academic at all?
That's right. For thousands of students, it's the daily, grinding frustrations of dorm life. Getting a leaky faucet fixed, feeling safe, that can totally overshadow their entire academic journey.
So today, we're going to break it all down. We'll look at the hidden pressures of dorm life, see what the data says about student stress, uncover the messy manual systems that are causing it, and then we'll dive into the digital solution that's changing everything.
First up, let's really talk about the pressures of dorm life. For a lot of students, the university dorm is their first real home away from home. And that jump from living with family to being on your own, it comes with a whole new ecosystem of stress.
And look, this isn't just a feeling people have. Academic research, like this quote here, backs it up. All of a sudden, students are navigating everything from homesickness and managing their own money to dealing with roommates and trying to figure out confusing rules, all by themselves. But what does this stress actually look like day to day? How does it show up? Well, when we look at the data, the picture becomes incredibly clear, and honestly, it's pretty concerning.
In one major study of students living in hostels, a staggering 92% said they felt stress from worrying about their future. Just think about that. It's the #1 stressor, this constant hum of anxiety that affects almost everyone.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how basic the other stressors are. It's not just these big abstract worries. A huge 77% of students felt stressed out by something as fundamental as the poor quality of food in the dining hall.
And almost 3/4 of them, 73%, worried about not having good medical facilities right there in the hostel. When you're sick and you're far from home, that is a massive source of anxiety.
This table really lays out the whole scope of the problem. You can see things like homesickness are pretty common for everyone, but just look at that last row. For academic students, 91% reported stress from unsympathetic warden behavior. Compare that to just 12% of professional students. That tells you the human administrative side of things is a huge, huge factor in how students feel.
And that leads us to a really key insight. All of these frustrations students are having, the slow maintenance, the unhelpful staff, the communication gaps, they're often just symptoms of a much deeper operational problem. The culprit? Old school manual management. Yeah, we're talking about physical ledgers, paper forms, and just endless email chains. This way of doing things is just asking for trouble. Misplaced records, delayed responses, zero transparency for students, and even serious security risks like letting unverified visitors wander in.
So how do we fix this whole administrative mess and actually lower student stress? Well, universities are starting to turn to a really powerful new tool, technology.
It's called a Hostel Management System, or HMS for short. The best way to think about it is like a central digital nervous system for the entire dormitory. It takes all those clunky manual things and turns them into smooth digital workflows that everyone can tap into.
So remember all those problems we just listed? Well, this shows exactly how an HMS fixes them. Misplaced records? They're now digital files. Delays in getting things done? Solved with instant processing. No idea what's going on? Cured by real-time updates. For every single failure of the old manual system, there's a direct digital solution.
And this shows you what it actually looks like in practice. Instead of having to track down a warden or send an email into a black hole, a student can just open an app, snap a photo of a maintenance issue, send it in, and then track its status in real time. It's one single, clear place for all communication.
Now, this shift from paper to a digital platform isn't just about making things a little more convenient. The impact is profound, and more importantly, we can actually measure it across the entire campus.
When you put the two systems side by side like this, the change is just stark. You go from lost paperwork, delayed responses, and frustrated students to centralized data, instant notifications, and satisfied students. It is a night and day difference.
And the numbers? They back this up in a big way. Institutions that have actually implemented a hostel management system report a massive 85% improvement in their operational efficiency. That's not just a small tweak, that's a total game changer. And that core efficiency creates this incredible ripple effect. The data shows a 92% student satisfaction rate,
a 75% cut in paper usage, 60% faster room allocation, and a 40% drop in unauthorized visitors. It's better for students, better for staff, it's even better for the planet.
And all of this really brings us to a much bigger idea about the fundamental role a university plays in a student's life.
Just as this research points out, a student's living situation is directly tied to their well-being and their success in the classroom. By using technology to solve those small daily headaches, like a broken light bulb or a lost package, we free up a student's mental and emotional energy to focus on why they're actually at university, to learn and to grow.
So in the end, this isn't just about getting better software. It's a strategic shift. It's about moving the focus of administrators from shuffling paperwork to actually supporting people. It's about building a foundation of safety and support where students can really truly thrive.
So, to go all the way back to our main question, when we digitize the dorm, do we actually de-stress the student? Well, all the evidence we've seen, from what makes them anxious to the impact of the solution, suggests the answer is a resounding yes. And that's paving the way for a new and frankly much-needed standard in student living.